Petersburg, Florida. It's New York Yankees baseball. And tonight, the Yankees play the second of a three-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays in what was a very eventful day in Major League Baseball, and especially for the Yankees. Last night, the Yankees lost a terrific baseball game, 3-2 to Tampa. Nick Swisher, a two-run home run in the first. Matt Joyce, a three-run home run in the sixth. And you'll hear later Joe Girardi talk about Phil Hughes. I felt that was the best game that Hughes pitched all year. Yeah, he made one bad pitch in the sixth inning, but he deserves so much better. And Jabba Chamberlain came in for the seventh and eighth and was brilliant. He pitched like Jabba should pitch. And if Jabba pitches like that, he would own the eighth inning for the Yankees. But the Yankees are going to give some help because they made some tremendous trades today. Lance Berkman is a Yankee. He's in the lineup batting second. A switch-hitting first baseman who will DH tonight. Matt Kearns, a right-hand hitting outfielder, is on the bench. And Kerry Wood, a right-hand relief pitcher, is on the way, and he will battle for the eighth inning job. So a very eventful day for the Yanks. Well, we bid you welcome to the Tri-State BMW pregame. Producer ball is inside. Teixeira, 258, 20 homers, and 72 RBIs. He has very poor numbers off Garza. He's 1 for 13. The guy on deck has great numbers against Garza. The overshift is on three infielders on the right side, and the pitch hit on the ground toward the middle and fielded by Longoria. Throws to first in time. Pretty play. Longoria was playing near second, so he was there to make that play. 3 up and 3 down at the end of a half. The Yankees nothing. Tampa coming to bat on the Yanks radio network, driven by Jeep.
The law firm of Levy, Phillips & Konigsberg reminds you this copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Levy, Phillips & Konigsberg is a leader in asbestos litigation. If you or a loved one suffers from an asbestos-related illness, call 1-800-MESO-LAW. That's 1-800-MESO-LAW, or visit lpklaw.com.
Now, here's Javi Vasquez, who, after a very poor start, I think he was 1-3 or so, and an ERA about 9, has been brilliant. Since that start, he's been 8-4 with an ERA of 3. No, he's now 9-7, and he deals to left-hand hitting John Jaso to lead off, and Vasquez deals, and the pitch a little high. Jaso, a catcher, although he's DHing tonight. Line drive type hitter, hitting at .263, 3 homers and 33 RBIs. And the 1-0. There's a strike. And the count 1-1. Hughes pitched a terrific game last night, made one bad pitch. And Jabba looked like the old Jabba in the 7th and 8th. There's the 1-1. Swung on, hit high down the right field line, foul, and it's into the seats. Right in back of where the Tampa Bay bullpen is.
You know, we were saying last night that we thought it was the best game that Phil Hughes had pitched all year. Joe Girardi agreed, and you know what, John? So did Phil Hughes. He said, I made one bad pitch. I can't take it back, and I'll think about it for a long time, but I think that's the best I've pitched all year.
Oh, I thought he was great. I really did. Pitch to Jaso is foul back. And the count holds at 1-2 on the left-hand hitter. Carl Crawford is on deck, and then Longoria. Well, Jaso's job to get on base. The 1-2 swung on and ripped to right field. Swisher back, leaps, and it's off the wall. He recovers and fires in. It's a double for Jaso. Oh, a noisy beginning for the Rays. It was a line drive that soared over the head of Swisher. He reached up to make the grab, but it was off the base of the wall. It's a double for Jaso as it soared right over his head, took off like a 2-iron. And here's Carl Crawford.
Well, it really did. I think he didn't catch it right away, didn't see where the ball was right away, or he would have started running back more quickly than he did. And then the ball went off the wall. He tried to get it with his hand. He would have had a double anyway.
Here's Crawford, a left-hand hitter. And Vasquez deals, and there's the bunt past the mound. Cano fields. It's a base hit. A beautiful drag bunt by Carl Crawford. Once Crawford dragged it past the mound, that's a base hit. And if you wanted to get a clinic on what a drag bunt looks like, that's it.
Just perfectly done, and this is what the Rays do. They will move the runners over, and that was absolutely a perfect drag bunt, as John said. And once it got by Vasquez, there's no shot to get just about anybody, but definitely not Carl Crawford.
Crawford, before the drag bunt, was at 305. 12 homers and 55 RBIs. He had great numbers of Vasquez. He was 11 for 29. So first and third, Jaso, of course, went to third. And here's Evan Longoria. First and third, no one out. And Vasquez deals foul back. Time Warner Cable wideband internet make the giant leap from broadband to wideband. And that curveball came in at 74 miles an hour. Yankees play the infield back. They'll give up the run. And this is where you almost have to say to yourself, look, we'll give him a run, but no more. Longoria at 294, 15 homers, 67 RBIs. And the pitch outside, and the count 1-1 to the right-hand hitting Longoria.
Now, Longoria has been in a terrible slump. He's hitless in 6 of his last games, and that's since July 20th. Wednesday it was 3 for 4, and when he went 3 for 4, he had snapped an 0 for 19 skid. So he is in a little doldrum right now. You don't notice it because the rest of the lineup is hitting.
Runners lead first and third, no one out. Throw to first, and Crawford is back. Crawford still on 37 out of 46. Very surprised he's not running or hasn't run yet, because that would take away the double play, and you hope to build that way a bigger inning. And it'll be a 1-1 to Longoria and another throw to first base. If Tampa Bay wins tonight, the Yankees and the Rays will be in a flat-footed tie. Obviously, if the Yankees win, they'll go back to 2 games up. And it'll be a 1-1 to the right-hand hitter. And the pitch swung on and lined to left. Gardner back. He makes the catch and throws towards second. Scoring is Jaso. It's a sac fly and an RBI for Longoria. And Tampa takes a quick 1-0 lead.
And that was hit very, very well. It just happened to be right at Gardner. He hardly had to move, but it did keep Crawford at first base. So the double play is still in order.
Now here's Carlos Pena. They don't need that extraneous noise. The place is sold out. Anyway, here is Pena, a left-hand hitter with great power. 1 on, 1 out, 1 in. Vasquez holds the set and now steps off. Well, Crawford is going. I don't know when. Obviously, if the Yankees knew when, they would pitch out. But he's going. It's unthinkable for Crawford to be on and not try to steal. He's, as I mentioned, 37 out of 46. And Pena's a double play threat because he runs slowly. Vasquez holds the set, and there he goes. Pitch out. The throw to second is not in time. Pitch out. The throw is a little high. I don't think they get him anyway. He simply outran the ball. Crawford steals second. The pitch was a ball, so the count 1-0.
And the throw was a little high, and John is right. And by the way, that is career stolen base number 400 for Carl Crawford. Standing ovation. Standing ovation for Crawford from the fans here in Tampa. You know, John, even if that throw's on the money, they don't get him. He was there.
6 players all time have reached 400 stolen bases at the age of 29.
It'll be a 1-0 to Pena. And the pitch swung on him. Missed on a great change. He was way ahead. He was swinging, and the ball was coming slowly to home plate. So the count 1-1. Everything is loud here, including the press intercom. Pena at 214, 23 homers and 68 RBIs. And he's only 3 for 19 off Vasquez, 2 of the 3 home runs. But that's Pena, and the pitch is lined foul, first base side. And so the count 1-2.
Well, Jim Leyland said it best about a base stealer. What is a base stealer? A base stealer is a guy that when everyone in the building knows he's going and still makes it, that's a base stealer.
That certainly is Carl Crawford. So the Rays have a 1-0 lead. The Ribby was Longoria, 68, and he's tied with Pena for the team lead. Now Vasquez is getting the Cervelli sign. It'll be a 1-2 to Pena. The pitch is a breaking ball low. With Pena, you know, the idea certainly is to throw him off speed stuff. The fastball hitter. You have to make sure you get the off speed stuff down. Another count 2-2. Crawford leads off second with 1 out. And Vasquez 2-2. Struck him out swinging. Off speed, breaking ball. So Pena strikes out. And there are 2-8. Here's last night's hero. Left-hand hitting Matt Joyce, who had a 3-run home run on a 2-2 pitch off Hughes. And, you know, one mistake cost the Yankees a game last night. But Hughes did pitch a terrific game. So there's a big man for Vasquez. He had first and third and no one out. And if he gets Joyce and gets out of it with 1 run, that'd be pretty good. Joyce at 231, 4 homers, 17 RBIs. And the pitch is high outside, the count 1-0.
Do you know that was Carlos Pena's 20th at bat against Javi Vasquez, and he's struck him out 11 times.
Yeah, he had 2. I mentioned he's 3 for 19 before then, now 3 for 20. And of the 3 hits, 2 home runs. That's Pena. He strikes out and he hits home runs. Vasquez taking some time between pitches. It'll be a 1-0 to Joyce. And the pitch, there's a breaking ball strike. Slow breaking ball, the count 1-1. We're coming to you live from the Lowe's broadcast booth. Let's build something together.
Last night, Matt Joyce, who was the hero of that game, talking to the press, he grew up here in Tampa, and he said, you have no idea what it's like for a kid who used to sit in those bleachers to get a hit like that and win a game for your hometown team.
There's the 1-1. Hit on the ground, foul outside of first. And the count 1-2.
Now, they have big expectations for him. He's been injured a lot since he's come over here, spent most of the time in Durham or on the DL. But to be able to hit into those bleachers where you sat as a kid rooting for the Rays has got to be a big thrill. He'll stay here now.
He's had 78 at-bats this year. So the 4 homers and the 17 RBIs aren't too bad at 78 at-bats. A lefty hitter. Crawford off second to be a 1-2. And the pitch low, the count 2-2. The Yankees rest Posada tonight. They catch Cervelli. You know, Posada will be in tomorrow. Now, Joyce takes a moment out of the box. Tampa Bay with a 1-0 lead. We're in the bottom of the first inning. 2 outs, a runner at second. Vasquez holds the set. And the 2-2 hit on the ground to second. Cano fields and flips to first in time. So Vasquez got out cheaply enough. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. Now at the end of 1-0 Tampa Bay on the Yanks radio network. Driven by Jeep. The Let's take 10-second station ID on the New York Yankees radio network.
The Yankees know where to get the best news, sports, traffic, and weather on the radio.
WCBS.
WCBS. WCBS.
Make that WCCBS.
That radio set to 880.
John Sterling, Susan Wellman back at Tropicana. 1-0 Tampa Bay. We hit the top of the second. Here's A-Rod at 272. 16 homers, 85 RBIs. And the right-handed Garza deals inside. A-Rod is lifetime 7 for 15 with a home run off Garza, so pretty impressive numbers. You know, you've always heard about the 600-pound gorilla on your back. Well, that's what the 600th home run has been to A-Rod. The 1-0. Caught on a miss. And the count 1-1. That was Garza's fastball. It looked like he two-seamed it. The ball went down and into A-Rod. Garza throws a preponderance of fastballs. You know he's going to hit it eventually. And here's the 1-1. The breaking ball strike. Big, slow breaking ball. And A-Rod was mesmerized. As hard as Garza throws all the time, he'd be mesmerized when he throws that curve. Now the count 1-2.
I think last night, John, was the first time I've seen Alex get a little frustrated, kind of chirping at Tim Welke behind the plate.
Here's the 1-2. It's low, back to the screen. Now the count 2-2. Well, I say all the time, I sound like a broken record too. Well, eventually he's going to do it. But the Yankees would, and A-Rod would love it to be sooner than later. Hit it and get it over with. And get on with winning the division. Here's the 2-2. Outside, he threw a breaking ball on the count 3-2. So, that was more the slider than the curveball. No, 3-2. He undoubtedly, if I'm the hitter, I'm saying he's going to go with his bread and butter, which is the fastball. You can be really fooled, but if I'm A-Rod, I'm looking fastball. And here's the payoff. Inside to a fastball. And Garza and slammed his fist into the mitt. He is a very emotional pitcher. And good for him. He didn't want to walk the leadoff batter. And he missed badly with it, so A-Rod didn't have to think, well, is it going to be a strike or not? It was up and in.
And most of the time, Alex has been really cool like that, been able to keep, his approach going, not swing at pitches that aren't strikes and just get on base. But he was wishing he could just get it over with.
Well, here's Robbie Cano at 330, 20 homers, 70 RBIs. Cano, pretty good numbers off Garza. He's 6 for 22 with a home run. Cano, a left-hand hitter. Garza holds the set and deals. There's a strike. Fastball outside corner, 0-1. The last 3 days have been great in Major League Baseball. Usually there are a lot of rumors of trades. And the 0-1 is low. A-Rod made a great bluff going to second. And the count 1-1. Usually there are a lot of rumors really made up by the media because they're looking for stories and trying to promote stories. But boy, Major League Baseball came through. There's so many trades, it's tough to remember all of them in the last 3 or 4 days. And today, the term is flurry. There were a flurry. Almost a blizzard. That'd be a 1-1 to Cano. And the pitch swung on and ripped to right field. It is a base hit. One hop to the right field wall. A-Rod goes to third. Cano goes to second with a double. Oh, Cano with that great swing ripped a bullet double, one hop to the right field wall. And the Yankees have A-Rod at third. Cano at second safely and no one out. Give your family the gift of a safe and secure financial future. New York Life Insurance Company. They're safe and secure so you can be too. New York Life, the company you keep.
And if you think that Robbie Cano has a lot of doubles, he does. He has 29 doubles, leads the team.
So second and third. And no one out. The tying runs at third. The lead runs at second. Here's Nick Swisher. He'll be hitting sixth. He'll be hitting basically between Cano and Granderson, breaking up the lefties, the switch hitter. Batting lefty, and the pitch is high, and the count 1-0. So that takes care of Garza's attempt to duplicate Johnny Vandermeer, about 1940, I think, and pitched 2 no-hitters in a row. Only time it's been done. And it'll be a 1-0 to Swisher. Runners lead, second and third, no one out. Pitch is inside, and the count 2-0.
You look at Cano's numbers, John. How about that? .330, 29 doubles, 20 home runs.
Oh, great numbers.
Some year.
And you know, that's one guy whose swing you can see. It's so good, it's easy to see it. He has a perfect level lefty swing. The 2-0 coming to Swisher. Inside, and the count 3-0, another fastball. Granderson is on deck. But, I mean, you can see what a great swing he has.
Absolutely. By the way, speaking of great swings, when Joe Girardi had to send Colin Curtis back, speaking of great swings, I was walking out, I said, was that tough? And he said, he'll be back or he'll be somewhere. He's going to have a nice, long career.
Yeah, he is. He's going to be a good lefty hitter. It'll be a 3-0 to Swisher. And Garza deals foul back, so they turn Swisher loose. Good for them. They can run at it. In case he throws something that Swisher really could handle, he might hit it out. So the count 3-1. I mean, he's going to swing 3-1. Why not swing 3-0? Swisher at .298, having his best year ever. 19 homers, 62 RBIs, and he's 5 for 10 off Garza with 2 home runs. Runners lead second and third. It'll be a 3-1, and the pitch cut on him. Threw it by him upstairs at 93 in the count 3-2.
You know, that's the one little blind spot that Nick Swisher has. It's that fastball up. A lot of players do, but when you see Swisher swing like that, it usually is a fastball that's above the letters.
So the count's gone full 3-2. If you're wondering, Tampa's playing the infield back. They'll give up a run. They don't want to give up 2. And if you bring the infield up, you don't have any lateral range, so a ground ball goes through and you give up 2 runs. A-Rod off third, Cano off second, no one out. It'll be a 3-2 to Swisher. And Garza is at the belt. And the payoff. Swung on and drilled deep, but foul. Home run distance down the right field line, but well foul. In the field level seats, there may be, what would you say, Susan, 20 rows, 25 rows?
25 rows.
Well, that ball went almost into the last row.
Yes, it did.
But foul.
93-mile-an-hour fastball, just a bit early with that swing.
Well, once again, it'll be a 3-2. Runners lead second and third. Garza is at the belt. And the right-hander deals. Breaking ball, strike 3. Swisher caught by the breaking ball. So 1 away, and here's Granderson.
And Garza's done that a lot. Sets everybody up with that fastball and then throws one great breaking pitch. Chopik sets up inside and just nestled right in there. I think Swisher thought it was inside. Big breaking pitch that really did hit the outside corner. Inside corner, excuse me.
Well, here's Granderson. He's a .251, 10 homers, 31 RBIs, a left-hand hitter. And the pitch is foul back, third base side of home plate, 0-1. Obviously, this is the key batter. If Garza overpowers Granderson, keeps him in the infield pop-up or so. The Yankees won't score a run unless they get a hit. So here's the batter who can score a run on and out. Swisher could have, but he struck out. That'll be an 0-1 to Granderson. The pitch swung on and fouled. Third base side out. Playing the count 0-2. The Garza is very much a strikeout pitcher. He has struck out 97 in 129 innings. Needs the strikeout and is just one pitch away from doing just that. The 0-2. Breaking ball missed in the count 1-2.
Well, fans thought that caught the outside corner. Did not. I think Joe Madden thinks it caught the outside corner. We'll look at that again. Well, he tried to sell it. Shopper tried to sell it. Awfully close.
It'll be a 1-2 to Granderson. Swung on and hit in the air down the left field line. Foul, and Crawford can't reach it. It lands just beyond the Yankee bullpen down the left field line. So the count holds 1-2 on Granderson. Lifetime Granderson is 4 for 17 against Garza. Of course, the Yankees, they just want Granderson to make contact. If he hits a ground ball anywhere, but especially to second and short, they're way back. It's a run. A-Rod, as you know, runs very well. Now here's Garza's 1-2. Fastball high. And the count 2-2.
Just ways to pitch. Maybe Curtis goes after it. It was out of the zone. It was up.
A right-handed Francisco Cervelli on deck. The outfield for Granderson is straight away, and the infield is also straight away. Now Garza will deal 2-2. A breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Shopik. So even though he's approached it differently, he was behind Swisher 3-0, came all the way back to strike him out looking. Now Granderson ahead 0-2. Now he falls behind 3-2. So now Granderson has to think. He threw that curveball to Swisher. And he's thrown a couple of breaking balls to Granderson.
He's missed with both of them. Does he come back with the hard fastball now?
There's the 3-2. Swung on and drilled to left. Fairly deep. Gets the run in. Crawford makes the catch. And here comes A-Rod. He scores. Very good at bat for Granderson. He delivers the sac fly. Give Granderson an RBI. And the Yankees tie the game at 1.
John, you really got to love the way Granderson is starting to play. It's taken him a long time, but he is now really starting to contribute on a regular basis. We had talked about during the season, because the team is in first place and doing so well, you almost don't notice that he's hitting .230, and he did enough in big spots so that people don't get on him, but he's really starting to hit and be very productive.
I would agree with all that. Here is Cervelli with Cano at second, 2 out. Tied at 1 pitch. Fastball strike. Cervelli's at .260, no homers, 31 RBIs. Well, it's time for today's second to none auction. Go to Steiner-Sports.com, where bidding is now underway for Marcus Timms autographed baseball. Log on to Steiner-Sports.com, click on the second to none banner, and bid on today's auction item. Now the 0-1 is high in the count, 1-1. Susan will have a scoreboard for you in the bottom of the inning, and we're going to try to figure out sometime, if the pace gets slow or whatever, where we can recap the 1,001 deals made today. Well, the bodies are going everywhere across this country. Very good for the travel business. Now Shopik goes out to chat with Garza. Cervelli does not have a lot of power, and he really tries to make contact, and he's been very good at, among other things, getting 2-out hits. Is he a great hitter? No, but he's not an out. And so he has driven in 31 runs. I should check the number of hits. That would give a more import. The pitch to Cervelli is a strike on the inside corner. Cervelli has 52 hits, so he has 52 hits and 31 RBIs. He's got a runner to pick up Cano at second, behind on the count 1-2. Now the right-hander deals, swung on and line towards center. Upton going back, makes the catch to end the inning. For the Yankees, 1 run, 1 hit. And you know, Garza was so angry when he gave up the walk. Well, the walk scored, as they always do. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 left. Now the end of an inning and a half, tied at 1 on the Yanks radio network, driven by Jeep. Now here we go to the bottom of the second inning, with the game tied at 1. Joe Madden did something very odd tonight. He's a guy who loves to platoon and, likes to break up lefty hitters and righty hitters. Now Zobrist is out a switch hitter. But anyway, he has 4 straight righty hitters in, which I don't know why. He had a reason, I know. Pitch is a strike. Here's one of them. This is the youngster Sean Rodriguez playing second. He's at .260, 6 homers and 31 RBIs, a right-hand hitter. And the 0-1 swung on a high fly to right. Drifting back is Swisher and makes the catch, and he made the catch about 2 steps from the right field wall, so Rodriguez hit it a fur piece. 1 away, and here's B.J. Upton.
Scoreboard update is sponsored by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. In Toronto, Cleveland beat Toronto 2-1. Jensen Lewis gets the win. Brian Talbot takes the loss. Chris Perez gets his 11th save. Jose Molina, his solo homer, his 4th. Boston, on a David Ortiz walk-off 3-run double off of Phil Koch in the bottom of the 9th.
Upton takes a strike.
And they came from behind to beat Detroit 5-4. Jose Valverde obviously was unavailable since he threw 60 pitches last night to get out of the bottom of the 9th inning.
The 0-1, Upton takes outside.
Miguel Cabrera had his 26th homer of the season also this afternoon. Oakland leading the White Sox 5-0, bottom of the 3rd in Chicago. Kevin Kuzman off a solo homer, his 10th. Dallas Braden against John Danks.
The 1-1 is low. Upton, having a very disappointing year, is at .226. 8 homers, 35 RBIs. Great numbers against Vasquez. He's 8 for 15 lifetime. A right-handed with power and speed. And Vasquez 2-1 is grounded foul at home plate, 2-2.
Kansas City leads Baltimore 1-0. Top of the 4th, they are in KC. Brad Bergeson against Zach Greinke. Minnesota got 3 in the bottom of the 1st. They lead Seattle 3-0. Top of the 3rd. Felix Hernandez against Kevin Slowey, and a little later, Texas at the Angels, Rich Harden against Dan Herron.
Now here's Vasquez 2-2, and it's foul back, and the count holds 2-2 on Upton. 1 out, no one on. Bottom of the 2nd, tied at 1.
Cincinnati beat Atlanta 5-2. Scott Rowland, a solo homer, is 18th. Bronson Arroyo gets the win. Jair Jurgens gets the loss. Francisco Cordero save number 28. Dodgers lose to San Francisco 2-1. Guillermo Mota gets the win. Jonathan Broxton takes the loss.
Here's Vasquez 2-2. And it's fouled back again, so the count holds 2-2.
Houston has
1-2.
Houston scored 2 in the 1st, 3 in the 2nd. Lead Milwaukee 5-0. Bottom of the 5th in Houston. Dave Bush and Wandy Rodriguez started that game. Washington leads Philly 3-1. Top of the 5th, they are in Washington.
Now Vasquez 1-2, and that's fouled off. It's a slow breaking ball, and he fouled it off.
All tied up at Citi Field, 1 apiece, top of the 5th, Barry Enright and Hisanori Takahashi, Mets and Arizona. St. Louis leading Pittsburgh 1-0, top of the 4th in St. Louis. They're in the bottom of the 2nd in Colorado. Cubs and Rockies no score. Tom Gorzolani against Jason Hamill. And later, Florida is at San Diego.
And the 1-2 is low. Try to backdoor breaking ball. 2-2. On Joyce. The Rays have a 2-1 lead. We're in the bottom of the 4th, and 1 out. And no one on. And here's Vasquez 2-2. It's hammered foul outside of first.
We talked about the Yankees deals. We didn't talk about the Tampa Bay, who picked up Chad Qualls from Houston. And, it's so different now because Chad Qualls gets there, and there's his ex-teammate Dan Wheeler sitting in a corner. And so his locker is over next to his. There's always somebody now that you've played with on another team, the way players move around. So they bolstered their bullpen.
The 2-2 hit on the ground at first, grabbed by Teixeira. Goes to the bag for the second out, and there are 2 away.
And Tampa Bay actually was in the running. They really tried to get Adam Dunn until one statement came out. Said, if I'm going to have to DH, I don't want to do it. And they've already been burned by Pat Burrell, who came here and was a DH for a year and a half and did nothing. And when someone says, I don't want to do something, you back off really fast. He wanted to play and didn't want to DH, so that didn't happen.
And I think Washington, from what I've heard, asked for an awful lot for Adam Dunn. 2-way, Sean Rodriguez pops it foul out of play.
He did indeed. A couple other moves that we were talking about. The Braves from Kansas City got both Kyle Farnsworth and Rick Ankiel. Rick Ankiel is going to play center field every day, and they have sent Nate McLouth down to the minors. And boy, talk about a fall from grace from an all-star to a minor leaguer.
The 0-1 breaking ball outside, and the count 1-1.
Had that great year in Pittsburgh.
Well, Ankiel can play center and has a great arm and will hit home runs. He doesn't hit for much of an average. And here's the 1-1. Pitch low. The Dodgers got a pitcher. They needed a starting pitcher. They got Ted Lilly.
They got Ted Lilly. They got Ryan Theriot and also Otavio Dotel to bolster that bullpen.
There'll be a 2-1. Sean Rodriguez, a right-hand hitter, and Vasquez deals grounded foul off third. So the count 2-2. What other deal hits you?
Jake Westbrook going to the Cardinals.
Yes, he gives them. They have a big starting 3. Wainwright, Carpenter, and the rookie Jaime Garcia. Now he gives them a 4th starting pitcher. And Westbrook's very good. He pitched very well against the Yanks.
That was a 3-way deal. Westbrook goes to the Cards. Ryan Ludwig goes to the Padres.
The 2-2 is low.
And the Indians get prospects from everybody.
And Ryan Ludwig, who had really kind of arrived as a hitter, and maybe they have so many right-hand hitters on the team. They brought up a lefty hitter a while back who's doing very well. I haven't really seen him play. His name is John Jay. So I guess they're going to play him, and in that 3-way deal, they got a 4th starting pitcher. Here's a 3-2 to Rodriguez. Foul back, so the count holds 3-2.
I was talking to some people today also, John, because the Pirates went out and got Chris Snyder from the Diamondbacks, and the Pirates traded back Bobby Crosby, Ryan Church, and DJ Carrasco. And I was texting someone in Pittsburgh, and I said, why would they do that? Where's Domet? And I guess he's never gotten better.
The payoff is hit weakly on the ground to second. Cano comes in, fields, throws in time to end the inning. We'll continue this in the top half. 3 up, 3 down at the end of 4. 2-1 Rays on the Yanks Radio Network, driven by Jeep.
Event.
Now we go to the 5th. Anyway, so they traded for Chris Snyder, who's a right-handed hitting catcher.
Well, Ryan Doman evidently, and we don't follow the National League a lot, and we sure don't see a lot of Pittsburgh except in spring training. He evidently had a concussion, and they don't want him to catch anymore, and he's going to go to the outfield.
He's a good hitter. A switch hitter, Ryan Doman.
And I remember when he was, because we see Pittsburgh every other day in spring training, he did play left field. When he first came up, he caught and played left field.
Well, here's Curtis Granderson. to lead off the fifth. He accounted for the Yankee run with a sac fly, bottom third for the Yanks, and Granderson takes a strike. Granderson, Cervelli, and Gardner, you look them on the board, you have to give credit to the pitching. The Yankees only have 2 hits. I think they had 4 hits last night. And one more thing about that. The 0-1 is low. I just want to make sure, look at my scorecard to make sure. Now the Yankees have 6 hits in 2 nights, and Cano has 4 of them. So they've held the other guys in check. The 1-1 swung on, foul, third base shot out of play, and the count 1-2.
Here's the other thing about last night. Yankees had 4 hits. 3 of them were in the first inning.
Right, and Cano had the last of them. Jeter singled, Swisher homered, and with 2 outs, Cano singled. Then later on, Cano had another single. Tonight, Cano has 2 doubles, and that's it. It's very tough to win on 2 hits. 2-1 Tampa. We're in the 5th inning. It'll be a 1-2. Granderson hits a ground ball at the second, and Sean Rodriguez throws him out, and there is 1 away.
And Sean Rodriguez playing close to the first base bag, closer to the first base bag, and he didn't have to move. Granderson just turned the wrist over and hit right to him. Yeah, the other thing that I thought was interesting is Ian Kinsler's on the DL. He's going to be out for a while. And Texas went out and got Christian Guzman from Washington to play second base till he comes back.
Very good idea. And when you're in a pennant race, that's what you do. And they went out and they spent a little bit or spent something of their minor league system, but they got a pro to play till Kinsler gets back. Here is Cervelli, and he fouls it back in the count 0-1. So Garza, who had the no-hitter, has followed it up with another really strong effort, as he has yielded 2 hits in 4 1/3. 2-1 Tampa. And Cervelli bunts, and bunts foul. So he's behind on the count, 0-2.
You know, while Cervelli is up, I saw Yes cameras taking a look at Lance Berkman sitting in the dugout, and if Jorge Posada's going to play, John, he's going to have to catch, and he's going to have to catch more than he's been catching, because Berkman probably is going to be that DH unless he plays first base one day to share a total day off. But Posada's going to have to catch if he wants to play.
The 0-2, breaking ball low. Well, I'm sure he will. He wants to catch.
Yes, he does.
As long as he's healthy, he will. Meanwhile, this team is built also for the season, and during the season, you give guys days off, so it's a very deep team. That'll be a 1-2 to Cervelli, and the pitch is outside. And the count 2-2. Garza has walked 1, and it came home to hurt him. He walked A-Rod, then Cano doubled, and a sac fly scored the only Yankee run. As you'd expect, when 2 teams like this meet, the pitching's been great. Last night 3-2, and today 2-1. And the 2-2 to Cervelli. He struck him out swinging. They're 2-away.
Traveling this season, take the Yankees with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere.
Now 2 down, and here is Gardner. One thing, put a little pressure on Vasquez. The way this game is going and the way Garza is pitching, Gardner struck out his first time, bluffs bunt, takes a strike. And Vasquez better hold Tampa Bay about where they are. It's pretty tough to tell him we'll go out there and pitch a shutout, but I mean, it's 2-1 Tampa, but Garza looks so tough. He is tough. He better hold Tampa right around 2 or 3, I guess. Here's the 0-1. Gardner takes a strike in the count 0-2.
And he just zips that fastball in. That was 94-mile-an-hour fastball right on the inside corner. What a pitch. Right-hander coming into the left-hander. 94 miles an hour, right on the block on the inside part of the plate.
Now the 0-2. Low. When Garza was with the Twins, he was very young. And he kind of told them, I want to start, and they wanted to ease him from the bullpen. Anyway, they traded him away for Delman Young, and the irony is, Garza's been great. He is everything he thought he was. He's a terrific starting pitcher. And this year, Delman Young has really finally started to hit with power. The 1-2. Strike 3 inside corner. That is the 6th strikeout for Garza. 3 up and 3 down. And outside of Cano, the Yankees just can't touch him. Though they had a 4.5 innings to play. It's 2-1 Tampa Bay on the Yanks radio network, driven by Jeep. Introducing best-in-class Jaguar Platinum cover. B.J. Upton leads off and grounds one off his foot. Oh, that's going to hurt, and he hops around. It rolled back to Vasquez. Well, being the 5th inning, Tampa has a 2-1 lead, bottom of the 5th. Here is the Daily News 5th, sponsored by the Daily News, New York's hometown newspaper. And we're joined in the booth by our buddy Mark Feinsand. Mark, I guess I'll begin this way. If there's an MVP in the front office, I'd give it to Brian Cashman, hands down. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought he did a great job at the trade deadline, added 3 pieces that could be very helpful.
Pitch to Upton, line like a bullet. It is a fair ball, and it hops into the seats down the line. So a leadoff double for B.J. Upton. And remember what I said last inning, Vasquez better keep them around 2. That's how good Garza's been. So there's a leadoff double. Let's see if they can move that runner around.
I thought Cashman did a very good job getting, Kerry Wood, Lance Berkman, and Austin Kearns. Not that any of those 3 guys are going to be huge difference-making players, but they all upgraded the spots that they're now filling. And anytime you can upgrade your team, even if it's just marginally at one spot, you're better than you were yesterday.
What's really interesting to me, particularly the Kerry Wood deal, is that the Indians are picking up over $2 million of the $3.5 million salary. How did they do that?
Well, that and Houston's picking up $4 million of the $7 million that Berkman.
How does that happen?
I think some of these teams that know that their seasons are over and they have nowhere to go, they're looking just to save money wherever they can. Houston saved $3 million on the Berkman deal, and Cleveland saved $1.5 on the Wood deal.
Now, the Kelly Shopik bunts down third. Great bunt. Vasquez throws to first in time to Cano. So the sacrifice works 1-4. Upton has got all the speed in the world at third. The Yankees have to bring the infield up. Here's the right-hand hitting shortstop, Jason Bartlett.
In addition to getting the 3 players that they got, the Yankees really also didn't give anything away. Mark Melancon obviously has a bright future at one point. There was some very, very premature talk at one point a year or 2 ago about him being the eventual heir to Mariano Rivera. But he showed in a couple of stints up here that he just wasn't ready. He walked a lot of guys, hit a lot of guys, and I think they had just decided he wasn't necessarily the guy they thought he was going to be.
Now, where do you see Kerry Wood fitting in this bullpen?
Well, I think he's just going to join Jabba Chamberlain and David Robertson and Boone Logan in that late 7th, 8th inning mix. And Joe Girardi will see how those guys pitch and ride the hot hand.
Infield comes up, play at the plate, runner at third, 1 out. Bartlett, it's a high pop foul down the right field line, out of play. If you get a fly ball, if Bartlett's able to get a fly ball for the Yankees to have any chance at Upton, it better be shallow, because Upton has fabulous speed.
When you look at Lance Berkman, and the people in Houston told me last night he's starting to hit a lot better. Remember, he was rehabbing that knee as the season starts. He walks. You look at his on-base percent, over 400 for his career. I think this is a terrific number 2 hitter.
It'll be an 0-1 to Bartlett. The pitch swung on and driven to right. The run scores. Swisher back. Makes the catch. Here comes Upton. And the throw is late. It's a sac fly and an RBI for Bartlett. And Tampa takes a 3-1 lead.
And Tampa Bay has become very proficient at 1-2-3 ABC baseball. Get on, get the ball in the air if you have to, bunt the runner over, playing little ball when they need to.
No two-way. Here is the catcher, lefty hitting John Jaso. Jaso has doubled and tripled. And the breaking ball is a strike, and he has scored 2 runs. So he scored 2, and Upton just scored 1. Tampa being very efficient, getting great pitching, and being very efficient. Of course, last night they were efficient because Matt Joyce hit a 3-run home run on a 2-2 pitch from Hughes. It'll be an 0-1. And the pitch inside. In fact, Mark, I thought that was a good point of the game last night, that Hughes was so great and that Jabba was so great.
Yeah, Jabba coming out and pitching 2 innings the way he did, 2 perfect innings, I think 24 pitches. Brian Cashman made a point to tell us today that Jabba was not the reason they got Kerry Wood. They just thought Kerry Wood was an upgrade over Chan Ho Park.
The 1-1, hammered on the ground at first and past to Sarah. It is a base hit to right field. Jaso going to second. Swisher's throw is safe. Swish's throw is on target, but Jaso was able to slide in safe. So he has doubled, tripled, and doubled. And here's Carl Crawford.
Kerry Wood's going to join that bullpen, but they're not looking at him necessarily as the replacement for Jabba. I think they look at him as one of those guys who could become, an important piece, but they're not counting on him to be that guy necessarily. With Berkman, talking to him before the game, I was most impressed with his enthusiasm for joining this team right now. This is a guy who is very set in his ways, played 12 years in Houston and was very comfortable there, and could have easily just said no thanks.
Here's Crawford, pitch outside 1-0.
He said his relationship with Andy Pettitte certainly helped him make the decision to come here. And he said that he was at the point in his career, he's 34 years old. The way he put it was, I know that I've had more yesterdays in this game than tomorrows, but I'm not that old just yet. But it seemed like his career was at a crossroads, and he decided it was time to go be with a contender.
It'll be a 1-0. That pitch low in the count, 2-0.
Well, how about today's? He doesn't have to have a lot of tomorrows. How about today's?
Well, he said he's actually felt better lately. He said his last 2 games in Houston, he felt better than he has all season. And he thinks that, being in a lineup like this, where he doesn't have to be the man, he can just be a spoke in the wheel. It's a good fit.
Crawford 2 for 2, a bunt single and a single to left. Pitch. There's a strike, and the count 2-1. I'll tell you about Berkman. 1,000 years ago, the Yankees picked up an old slugger named Johnny Mize, thought to be at the end. He hit very well. You know how long he stayed there? 5 years. Obviously, they won the championship every year. But I can see if Berkman can hit, that he could be here a couple of 3 years. I think, in other words, the pickup was more for me than just this year, because he's a Yankee hitter. He takes pitches, he walks, he's a switch hitter. I can really see him being a part of this ball club.
Well, you're right, John, about him fitting in here. Even in this bad year he's having with a 245 average, he still had a 372 on base coming into today. And, that was what the Yankees were looking for out of Nick Johnson in that number 2 hole. Get on base and score runs in front of A-Rod and Teixeira.
It'll be a 2-1 to Crawford. And that pitch fouled third base out of play. And the count 2-2.
And he also had 13 home runs.
No, he's still got power. I think he will certainly benefit from the right field in Yankee Stadium. His at-bats lefty have been a lot better than his at-bats righty, but that's part of the reason they went out and got Austin Kearns. I think when they face a tough lefty, you'll see Kearns in left, Tim's DHing, and Posada behind the plate.
And Gardner in center field.
Right.
Well, right now, the Yanks have their own problems. They're trailing 3-1. And Matt Garza has been, although outside of Cano, no one has a hit. The runner at second is Jaso with 2 men out. And it's a 2-2 count on Carl Crawford, who's 2 for 2 off Vasquez. Javi holds the set and deals. Struck him out swinging on a high fastball. I thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
1 run, 2 hits. And 1 left. Now the end of 5, 3-1 Tampa on the Yanks Radio Network, driven by Jeep.
CBS 880.
Yankee fans, bring a group of your friends, families, or business associates out to the stadium and enjoy the game in a private game day suite or in a great group location. For more information, visit Yankees.com, call 646-977-8900, or email suites@Yankees.com.
Well, the Yankees trail 3-1 as we go to the 6th, and Garza who pitched the no-hitter on Monday against Detroit, is now pitching a 2-hitter against the Yanks. Here's Jeter to lead it off in the 6th. And the pitch cut on him. One thing about lineups, and this cliche has been said in baseball since it all began, and it's a perfectly true cliche. Good pitching stops good hitting. It's always happened that way. It always will happen that way. And the Yankees are seeing some pretty good pitching in Garza. And last night, Wade Davis, the 0-1, swung on, cork to deep right. Way back goes Joyce. It's way over his head off the base of the right field wall. Jeter goes to second with a double. The Jeter really pounded one. He had a high line drive way over the head of Joyce, hit the very base of the right center field wall. Jeter pulls up at second safely. Help ensure your family's financial future is safe and secure. To contact your local New York Life Insurance Company agent, visit us at NewYorkLife.com. New York Life, the company you keep. The run that Tampa Bay scored last inning, double, sacrifice, sac fly, that's a big run because now the Yankees can't do the same thing. They've got to try to score 2. And in this case, what Berkman's got to do, and he knows it, is pull the ball, get Jeter to third. Pitch. A high pop. Off third. Longoria is there. He makes the catch, 1 away.
Well, not a productive out, and Berkman knows that. He's shaking his head as he walks back to the dugout. See where this pitch is. The pitch was up.
Oh, he's late.
Yep.
Good fastball. Yeah, that's why it was late. So the reason I mentioned that Berkman's got to pull the ball, get him to third, it's much better if you go to the 7th inning down 3-2 than 3-1. That's simple. And the Jeter has a leadoff double. They've got to score this run. Now it takes a base hit. Here's Teixeira. And the pitch. There it goes. Deep right. It is high. It is far. It is gone. Oh, did he hit a shot to the back end of the right field bleachers. Mark sends a text message to deep right. Oh, you're on the mark, Teixeira. His 2-run blast. And the Yankees tie the game at 3.
Number 21 for Mark Teixeira. No doubt about that one. They had shifted so that if he ground the ball, and that's what you do, you hit over the shift. That's what Don Mattingly always said. The idea is not to hit through the shift, it's to hit over it. That was a fastball that was right at the knees over the middle of the plate, and Teixeira just clocked it. Oh, my goodness, 2 more rows and it would have hit the wall.
What a shot by Teixeira. His 21st home run. He has 74 RBIs. And the Yankees have tied the game at 3, and here is A-Rod. And the pitch cut on a foul back. I've always thought if you can throw, that the high fastball is better than the low fastball. Low fastball, you can drop the bat head on it, which is what Teixeira did. High fastball, that's what Berkman popped up. He couldn't get around on it. Now you have to be able to throw hard. And boy, did Teixeira hit that. And you couldn't hit a ball harder. And it went just about to the final row in those bleachers. That'll be an 0-1 to Alex. And there is a strike on the inside corner. The count 0-2. So Teixeira leads the Yanks in homers, 21. Cano has 20. And at 74 ribbies, he's second to A-Rod's 85.
What a shot. 1 more row and it hits the back wall.
The 0-2. Breaking ball low. And the count 1-2. A-Rod has walked and scored a run, then fly to right. So the Yankees do respond. Jeter hits a double, a long double off the base of the wall, and Teixeira hits it almost out of the dome. There's the 1-2. Struck him out swinging, slider away. So 2 down.
Now that's a pitch that Alex usually is never fooled on. That was down and away. That was a ball when it was coming at him.
In today's challenging economy, you need to work with the best when it comes to buying and selling real estate. Nobody in the world sells more real estate than RE/MAX. Visit RE/MAX.com today, your foreclosure and short sale experts. Now here's Robbie Cano, who has pounded a double down the right field line and then hit the base of the wall in left center for another double. So he's 2 for 2. The pitch, a breaking ball, is high. A little oddity or irony or statistical irony. The Yankees have only 4 hits off Garza, and they've all been extra base hits, 3 doubles and a home run. Garza's helped himself. He's walked 1, although that walk scored, and he has struck out 7. Garza's at 91 pitches. And the 1-0 high fastball, 2-0. And if you're wondering, would the Yankees like to get Garza out of the game? You bet. Well, the count 2-0 on Robbie. The ball game tied at 3. They're in the top of the 6th. There are 2 outs, no one on. And here's the 2-0 foul back. And the count 2-1. Susan, we haven't talked about this, but I did think that the way Jabba pitched last night, you hope that's the way he's going to pitch. I told him that, too.
Well, that's what everyone was saying. And even Joe Girardi said that's Jabba. That's what, when he comes out, he's aggressive, he's focused. He threw strike 1 and then strike 2 or strike 3. It's terrific.
Yeah, he was great. The 2-1 is high. I know it sounds simplistic, but I told Jabba that. And, obviously he agreed. How could you not agree? He said, thank me. But he said, that's how you have to pitch. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
But he came right after him last night. I thought Hughes was absolutely great. 1 bad pitch. That's showbiz. And, we'll see. We'll see if he can do that again.
That's right. Well, you also have to, Dave Allen said, if you get the muscle memory and you get used to pitching like that, you'll do it every time.
The 3-1 is foul, third base side out of play, and the count 3-2 on Cano.
Because I, like you, said something as he walked on the bus last night, and I said, there's Job. I knew he was in there somewhere. And he laughed. You wonder, it's just not that easy. If it were easy, everybody would do it.
Right.
But it's there. He came out, he was throwing 95, 96, strike 1, strike 2, and then using that slider.
Garza's really slowed down, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Now, he's ready for the 3-2 to Cano. And now Cano backs out as Garza just standing there, almost motionless on the mound. We're tied at 3 in the top of the 6th with 2 outs, no one on. It'll be a 3-2 to Robbie. Now, here's Garza's payoff. It's strike 3 at the knees. So the Yankees tie it. The double by Jeter and the tremendous home run by Teixeira. 2 runs, 2 hits, no one left at the end of 5.5, tied at 3 on the Yanks radio network, driven by Jeep. 10-second station ID on the New York Yankees radio network.
Every day to WCBS and WCBS FM HD3 New York.
John Sterling, Susan Waldman back at Tropicana. Bottom of the 6th, Longoria takes a strike. The middle of the Rays order, Longoria, Pena, Joyce. Longoria a sac fly, then he grounded into a double play. We're all tied at 3 here in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch is grounded foul, weakly off third. The next pitch for Vasquez will be his 80th. Garza finished the 6th, I think, with 96.
And Garza threw 120 pitches in his no-hitter last time out. He hasn't gone higher than 115 or 117, except for that 120 for the no-hitter.
The 0-2 is low to Longoria, so the count 1-2.
Scoreboard update sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO or visit geico.com.
Now here's Vasquez 1-2, and it's fouled down the right field line out of play. So the count holds at 1-2.
These are all final. Cleveland beat Toronto 2-1. Josh Tomlin started. And John, we were wondering how he did the second time out. 5 1/3 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts.
Great. 2 great starts in a row.
Terrific. Jensen Lewis does get the win. Brian Talent takes the loss. Chris Perez gets his 11th save.
The 1-2. Low in the count, 2-2.
Amazing. Guy came out of nowhere. Maybe they got themselves a pitcher for the rest of the year.
Maybe. And you know what? That's what those teams should do. I know they're going to do it. Pitch him every 5 days.
See what happens. See what he's got. Red Sox came from behind 3 in the bottom of the 9th off Phil Koch. Off the bat of David Ortiz. Boston beats Detroit 5-4.
Ground ball to short. Jeter fields and throws, and there's 1 away.
Oakland's leading the White Sox 5-2, top of the 8th. They are in Chicago. Kevin Kuzmanoff had a solo homer. Andrew Jones, a 2-run homer, is 15th for Chicago. Dallas Braden in there for Oakland. Tony Pena has replaced John Danks.
Is that? No, that's the other. I'm getting it mixed up. You know, Tony's son is pitching, but that's in the minor leagues.
I think he's in the minor leagues.
Kid from Arizona.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that first.
I just flinched. I thought, oh, isn't that great? Well, it's great for that Tony Pena anyway. Well, 1 away, and here is Carlos Pena. And the overshift is on. The pitch is outside, 1-0.
Kansas City just scored 2 in the bottom of the 8th. They take a 4-3 lead over Baltimore. Billy Butler just hit that 2-run homer, his 10th of the season.
I'm glad Buck isn't there yet. Here's the 1-0. Is outside. Last night, Baltimore had a 4-7
start, 1-3-7.
They had a 5-4 lead. Yeah, it was a 5-4 lead, bottom of the 9th. 2 outs. Alex Gordon had a 3-run home run. Casey won 7-5.
Yeah, that gum would be going. That windbreaker would be pulled up to the top.
Don't know, he'll suffer enough this year, but it'll be a 2-0 to Pena. And there's a breaking ball high, 3-0.
I can't wait to see it. That's going to be great. Minnesota is leading Seattle 4-0 in the bottom of the 8th. They are in Minnesota. And just underway, Texas at the Angels, Rich Harden against Dan Herron.
Now, you know Pena's swinging 3-0. It's a tie game, and this is a home run hitter. And there's 1 out, no one on. So, you know, Vasquez and Cervelli have to be thinking that way. Don't throw it down Broadway. The 3-0. Strike on the outside corner. Good pitch, and the count 3-1.
In the National League, Cincinnati beat Atlanta 5-2. It was San Francisco beating the Dodgers 2-1. Houston now has a 6-0 lead over Milwaukee, bottom of the 7th. Washington leading Philadelphia 4-2, top of the 7th in Washington. Carlos Ruiz solo homer number 3.
There's the 3-1. Swinging, and he popped him up. It was a breaking ball. And in shallow right center, Cano, and Granderson makes the catch. Well, Cano is playing out there on the shift. So it sounds odd to say guys in center field and second baseman. But Granderson finally called him off and made the easy catch. 2-away.
Mets are leading Arizona 2-1 as they go to the bottom of the 6th. Barry Enright pitching for Arizona, and Hisanori Takahashi for the Mets. You know, the Mets have 2 runs. Barry Enright's only given up 4 hits. St. Louis leading Pittsburgh 3-0 there in the top of the 6th in St. Louis. Albert Pujols homer number 24.
Matt Joyce hits one. It is high. It is far. It is gone. So Matt Joyce hits a home run for the second night in a row, and Tampa Bay regains a lead. The Rays lead it 4-3. So the second homer in as many nights for the hometown boy, Matt Joyce. His 5th homer, his 18th RBI, and Tampa leads 4-3.
And right in the same place as he hit it last night. Let's see where this pitch is from Javi Vasquez. Right down the middle of the plate. Broke right by the belt, and Vasquez knew it as soon as the bat swung. He smacked his hand against his glove. That went up on the top of the roof and then bounced back into the bleachers, right where he used to sit when he was a kid.
Sean Rodriguez follows it back, strike one.
Finish up, Colorado leading the Cubs 4-0, top of the fifth in Colorado. And in the bottom of the second, Florida leads San Diego 2-0.
Rodriguez, a right-hand hitter, 0 for 2, and the pitch is low. Hey, Yankee fans, recycling's a team effort. So after you satisfy your thirst with Poland Spring brand 100% natural spring water, please remember to recycle your empty bottle. Pitch outside, 2-1 on Sean Rodriguez.
Well, definitely a mistake that Vasquez made. Tried to throw him a breaking pitch. Didn't break, was high, waist high.
2-1, grounded in the hole at short, base hit left field. So Rodriguez, a two-out single, and that will bring up B.J. Upton.
And now Dave Island picks up the phone, and someone will be getting up in the Yankee pen. Island going out to slow down Vasquez, just calm down a little bit, just break up the momentum. As you can see the frustration in Vasquez, as soon as he threw that pitch, as soon as the bat swung and he heard that the crack of the bat, he knew exactly where that was going. Java Chamberlain up now for the Yankees.
Upton is grounded out and doubled. He's a right-hand hitter. Now Vasquez deals, then the fastball's inside, the count 1-0. Now 4-3 Tampa, bottom of the sixth. Kind of a magical inning for Matt Joyce. He hit the 3-run home run last night in the sixth. The only runs off Hughes. There were 2 outs at the time, and the count was 2-2. And Hughes kind of missed location with his fastball. And Joyce hit it out. And here in the sixth inning tonight, he hits it out to break up the tie. That's pretty heady stuff for a kid from Tampa who really is just becoming a regular for the Rays. There'll be a 1-0 to Upton.
And they hit the C ring. It's the second catwalk closest to the field. It's the fourth curveball they hit a catwalk this year.
Now Rodriguez leads, and the pitch, breaking ball strike. Rodriguez will run. He has stolen 7 out of 9.
See, here in Tropicana, we have different ways of gauging home runs. That hit the C ring, which is the second catwalk, fourth time somebody's hit it. That's way up there.
The 1-1, hit on the ground at third. A-Rod, one hands, goes to Cano for the force to end the inning. Well, the Rays retake the lead on the home run by Matt Joyce. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. Now the end of 6. 4-3 Tampa Bay on the Yanks radio network, driven by Jeep.
To WCBS 880.
Now we go to the 7th. Matt Garza will begin the inning with 96 pitches.
Rodriguez now moving to first base and playing second base, Lee Brignac.
Lee Brignac in the game. Sean Rodriguez moves over.
Sean Rodriguez has moved over to first base to replace Carlos Pena, so something must have happened to Pena, and Sean Rodriguez is playing first.
So Rodriguez at first, Brignac at second, and Pena is a very good fielder. So Susan's right. Pitch is high to Swisher. Susan's right. Something had to happen to Carlos Pena. If he didn't hit at all, they'd want him playing first base. He has such a good glove. Swisher has struck out twice against Garza. Garza has 97 pitches. No one throwing, though, in the Tampa Bay bullpen. And here's the 1-0. There's a strike. Good fastball in the outside corner. And the count 1-1.
You know, John, we were talking about all these teams that made trades, these flurries of trades. One team that did not help themselves was the Boston Red Sox, and Gordon Needs of ESPN Boston, used to be with the Globe, got caught up with Theo Epstein, and here's his quote.
1-1, low outside.
It's a very empty feeling not being able to add a reliever or outfield depth.
Now, you really wonder why. Is it because they didn't have the people in the minor leagues to trade? I mean, who knows? There'll be a 2-1 to Swisher. It's inside fastball, and the count 3-1. I'm kind of surprised, too. But you know what? Don't count Boston out. It doesn't mean you can't make a deal, but now they have to be waiver deals. There are ways to do that, especially if the guy's making a lot of money. That's the one way to do it. It'll be a 3-1 to Swisher. And Garza deals grounded foul off first, in the count 3-2.
Well, I think probably they asked for some of the. I know they asked for a couple of the prize prospects for a couple of these people. They got a kid shortstop named Iglesias that everybody asked for. Also, a pitcher named Casey Kelly that everybody asked for. So they weren't going to give up their prize prospects.
There comes the payoff pitch to Swisher. Swung on and hit in the air to deep right center. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Nick Swisher hit a hanging breaking ball. Remember when he struck out looking on a big curveball? That was it. This time he hits it into the seat. Oh, he's positively Swisherlicious. Nick Swisher ties the game with his 20th home run of the year. And we're all deadlocked at 4.
Oh, and does he feel great? He is. Look on his face, striking out twice, and particularly on, as John said, that big breaking ball. So he started him off with that, and Swish was ready for it. Oh boy, did he smack that! And Garza almost did a back bend. He was bending over. He knew exactly what had happened. He hung that ball.
The pitch. One away. Grandison had hit a sac fly and grounded out 4-3. So he grounds out 4-3 again. But Swisher is tied at 4. Well, these two games have been the way they should be, with the two best records in baseball. Now one away, and here is Cervelli. You know, one thing I don't understand, and I guess it's part of the drive you have inside of you. Cervelli takes a strike. I don't know exactly how high the wall is, but you can't jump over it. And last night, Swisher tried to climb the wall on Joyce's homer, and on that home run, Joyce tried to climb the wall on Swisher. You can't get there. Unless you're Kareem with young legs or so. Here's the 0-1. God, I missed. And the count 0-2. So to get back in this game, Teixeira hit his 21st home run. Swisher hit his 20th. Well, the Yankees are back in business. Get exactly what your business needs from Time Warner Cable Business Class. Customized solutions for your business. Visit them at twcbc.com. Now the Tampa Bay bullpen has begun. The 0-2. Strike 3 is called 2-away.
Well, they only have one lefty out there, so it's got to be our old buddy Randy Choate. Did you know, John, one more strikeout and everyone in the house gets free pizza?
Well, I can understand that. He has 9 strikeouts, so... And 10, they start dealing the pizza. Gardner has struck out twice. The bottom of the order has really struck out. Swisher struck out twice. Cervelli twice, and Gardner twice. And Garza deals. And there is a strike. Garza at 107 pitches. Well, we're tied at 4.
Do you remember when the Knicks did that years ago? I was still covering the team back in the late 80s or early 90s.
The 0-1 outside.
If the Knicks held the opposing team to under something, 85 points or something, that everybody at Madison Square Garden would get free pizza. So when they stayed that close, people would start chanting, pizza, pizza. Then the Knicks decided that probably wasn't a good idea.
Yeah. I've seen it the other way. I don't care. It's something for the crowd, but the players didn't like. I'll tell you what it is in a minute. Pitch is popped up to third. Longoria makes the catch in foul territory. And that takes care of the Yanks. 1 run, 1 hit. The home run by Swisher to tie at the end of 6.5. We're tied at 4 on the Yanks radio network, driven by Jeep.
Well, we're in the bottom of the 7th inning, all tied up 4 apiece. Javi Vasquez is back, and he will face Kelly Shopek, Jason Bartlett, and John Jaso. And now Boone Logan has started warming in the Yankee pen. So all tied up 4 apiece, bottom of the 7th, with Kelly Shopek at the plate.
And Vasquez deals a breaking ball low. Joaquin Benoit is in the Tampa bullpen. Shopek hits a pop foul off first, and Cervelli makes the catch right near the Tampa Bay dugout. So Shopek pops out to Cervelli. Now here's another right-hand hitter, and then I think you will see Mr. Logan. You know, the funny thing is, Boone Logan has started to pitch very well. He and David Robertson have both started to pitch well. So 1 away. Here's Bartlett. He's a right-hand hitter, and Vasquez deals low. Tonight's 7th inning stretch was sponsored by the BMW 7 Series. Check one out at your local Tri-State BMW Center or at tristatebmw.com. We're tied at 4, bottom of the 7th, 1 out, no one on, and the breaking ball's outside, 2-0 to Bartlett. The next 2 hitters are lefties, and they have worn out the Yankees, Jaso and Crawford. They have 5 hits between them. So you may see the lefty Logan. Here's the 2-0. And it's low, 3-0.
And that was Javi Vasquez's 101st pitch. So he's right about at that spot. Girardi looking out at the pen, see if Logan is ready.
And Benoit is Tampa's 8th inning pitcher, so that pitch low. Boy, he missed badly on 4 straight. So there's a runner, and here is the left hitter, John Jaso. And here comes the skipper to the mound.
And this call to the bullpen is sponsored by Geico.com today. Well, they brought in the lefty Boone Logan, who, John, I think you'd agree, has become a very, very valuable piece of this bullpen since he is the only lefty. He throws hard. He's been hitting spots. Been very valuable.
Yeah, he really has been doing a good job. And in big spots. Now, they're not going to pinch hit. They're going to leave Jaso in. Obviously, they're going to leave Crawford in. So Logan will face 2 lefty hitters, Jaso and Crawford, with a runner on. You know, the odd thing about Vasquez, we'll give you his totals, his numbers, that's his only walk. Well, what a time for it. In a tie game in the 7th inning with 1 out and no one on, he walked Bartlett. So Bartlett represents the go-ahead run. Jaso's had a great night, not a good night. He's doubled, tripled, and doubled. Scored 2 runs. Pitch, strike. Logan can really throw. That was 93. And he has been pitching. You know, it's funny. You pitch well, and then you pitch in bigger situations. And you pitch well, then you pitch in situations like this. It's a very big game, obviously. That'll be an 0-1 to Jaso. Bartlett leads and Logan throws over. And he's pitched so well, and if he continues to pitch this way and Marte comes back, the Yankees will probably go with 2 lefties. They both pitch so well. That's what you want. David Robertson in the bullpen. He'll pitch to Longoria. And one more thing. The lefty hitter, Reed Brignac, the second baseman, he replaced Pena. And they shifted Sean Rodriguez to first, but the fourth hitter is now Brignac. And we haven't found out why they took Pena out, but there had to be something wrong with him. There'll be an 0-1 to Jaso, and the pitch is popped up to shallow center. Granderson on the run makes the catch. You know, when you see Granderson play, you know what you think? You think he's going to catch every ball, because he catches just about every ball.
Well, he got such a good jump on that, and those are hard to see, particularly in this roof. It was right at him, and he stopped for a moment, and I wasn't sure, John, that he was going to get there. And then all of a sudden I looked up, and he was right underneath it. He knew exactly where he was.
Now, two-way, here's Carl Crawford, who has bunt singled in a run, a line drive to left, and then struck out. He's 2 for 3. So they finally got Jaso. Now two-way, here's Crawford with Bartlett at first, and the pitch hit on the ground to second. Cano fields, throws to first. And Logan, he keeps doing the job every time. No runs, no hits, 1 left. Now at the end of 7, we're all tied at 4 on the Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
New York Life Stories.
Last night, my 7-year-old couldn't get to sleep.
I'm scared of the dark, Daddy.
So I tucked her in, checked under the bed for monsters, and made her a promise. I'll keep you safe. Then I wondered, would I really be able to keep her safe? It's a tough promise to keep these days, but my New York Life agent reassured me it's not impossible. She said New York Life has been protecting families for 165 years and withstood even tougher times than these. You see, they help families.
5 right here on WCBS 880.
Well, the new pitcher for the Rays is Joaquin Benoit, and when we say he's had a great year, he's had a tremendous year. He's allowed 3 runs all year, all on solo home runs. One of them was to Nick Swisher.
Well, Garza goes 7 innings, 4 runs, 5 hits, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk. He can neither win nor lose. Derek Jeter leads off against Benoit, and the pitch is inside. And here is the numbers on Vasquez. 6 1/3, 4 runs, 8 hits, 2 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Yankees have a question to ask themselves. We've been questioning it in the booth. Tell you what it is in a moment. It'll be a 1-0 to Jeter. And the pitch is pop foul. First base side out of play. Jeter is 1 for 3. He doubled to lead off the 6th. The Yankees down 3-1. And then Teixeira hit a 2-run home run to tie. And Joyce homered to give the Rays a 4-3 lead. And Swisher homered to tie the game. That's where we are. Tied at 4. Neither Vasquez nor Garza will be involved in the decision. It's up to the bullpens. So Jeter 1 for 3. Man, the pitch is outside. Well, here's the question. You have Boone Logan on the mound, who's shown you how good he is. And you have a right-hander who can hit it out, Evan Longoria, to lead off. And you say, well, bring in the righty. Okay. But the next 2 hitters after that are left-hand hitters, Matt Joyce and Reed Brignac. So that's a little puzzle for Joe Girardi and Dave Island. There's the 2-1 to Jeter. Hit on the ground to short. Bartlett fields, throws, 1 away.
93-mile-an-hour fastball, and Jeter really couldn't get around on it. Just got on top of the ball, just grounded it easily to shortstop. Well, I say I say they bring in Robertson.
And he is going back to warm up right now. Lance Berkman is 0 for 3, a fly ball to right and a couple of pop-ups. So 1 away, and here is Berkman, a lefty hitter with Teixeira on deck. Time for the Yankees Power Report, sponsored by Indian Point Energy Center, the region's most reliable source of electric power. And the fastball is high, 1-0. Teixeira hit his 21st. He leads the Yankees. He has 74 RBIs with a 2-run home run. Swisher's homer, his 20th, his 63rd RBI. There's the 1-0. There's a strike. Fastball outside corner. So Teixeira 21, Cano 20, Swisher 20, A-Rod 16, Posada 12, Gradison 10. And the double-figure home run hitters for the Yanks. It'll be a 1-1 to Berkman. Cut out of miss. And the count 1-2. And of course, A-Rod leads him in RBIs with 85. And he is 6 behind the leader. In the major leagues, he is 6 behind Miguel Cabrera of Detroit, who has 91 RBIs. Now here's the 1-2 to Berkman. And the right-hander deals. He struck him out on a breaking ball, 2-way. Well, that's the Yankee Power Report for the night, sponsored by Indian Point Energy Center.
Well, Berkman, he was fooled twice, 2 in a row and 2 sliders, the same pitch.
First strikeout for Benoit on the 10th by Tampa pitching. Here's Teixeira with 2 outs and no one on. And the pitch foul back. Teixeira grounded out twice and then hit a tremendous home run. His home run carried basically to the last row or last couple of rows in the right field seats. And as Susan said, if it went a little further, it would hit the back wall. A tremendous home run. Well, it'd be an 0-1 from Benoit. And that pitch fouled back. A little late on a fastball. The count 0-2.
Benoit, as we've been talking about last couple of days, not young, 32 years old, spent a lot of time, I think 8 years with the Rangers, up and down and up and down. But this year, finally, he's put it all together.
Now the right-hander will deal 0-2 to Teixeira. And the slider is down low and in. Overshift is on. Longoria plays about, 80% of the way towards second. The second baseman, Brignac, plays about 10 steps out on the outfield grass. A-Rod of the on-deck hitter. And it'll be a 1-2 to Teixeira. And the pitch is popped up. Foul off third, and it lands on top of the Yankee dugout and kicks into the seats. I thought that ball was going to hit the roof, and it's a strange building. That ball was popped up a mile high.
In-game box score sponsored by McGladrey, accounting, tax, and business consulting. Power comes from being understood. All tied up for the Yankees. 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors. They have left 2. For Tampa Bay, 4 runs on 8 hits, also no errors. They have left 4. Benoit actually spent 14 seasons in the Ranger organization, 8 up and down as a major leaguer.
Now, once again, it'll be a 1-2 to Teixeira. He struck him out swing on a breaking ball. So the Yankees are down 1-2-3 at the end of 7.5. Tied at 4 on the Yanks radio network, driven by Jeep.
Every business has unique communication.
Well, the Yankees do go with right-handed David Robertson. So Boone Logan pitches 2/3 of an inning and gives up nada. And here is Robertson to pitch the 8th. He'll face the right-handed Longoria. And then the two lefties, Reed Brignac and the homer hitter, Matt Joyce. Ball game is tied at 4.
Well, you don't know what is going to happen here, but Joe Girardi has always said that he does like Robertson against lefties because of his breaking pitch, because he loves the way he gets that curve over to lefties.
Well, of course, that's it for lefties. The Yankees have used Logan. That's why it's great to have two lefties. But here's Longoria against Robertson, and the pitch outside.
Carlos Pena left the game with right foot soreness. He's day-to-day.
Right foot soreness for Pena. And it'll be a 1-0 to Longoria. And he grounds one to short. Nice hop for Jeter, who throws to first, one away.
And Joe Madden has his closer, Rafael Soriano, up in the pen.
And again, you have to do that because if you're home, obviously you can't possibly have a save. You either win it or you don't. So they'll bring in their best. If the Yankees were home, they would do that with Rivera. Well, one away, and here is Reed Brignac. Now, Brignac has home run power. He hit 2 in one game in Yankee Stadium. Lefty hitting second baseman, shortstop type. And Robertson deals as a fastball strike on the outside corner, and the count 0-1.
36,973. 36.
Another sellout tonight, 36,973.
What do you think the crowd was last night? It'll be an 0-1. Pitch fouled away. And I'll give you a memory, a very good memory for you. The sellout in Boston Garden. Well, go ahead. You say it.
13,909.
13,909 is right.
For 100 years.
They have the same.
Yes.
They have the same crowd.
36,973.
Right.
I heard that my whole life.
Well, that was the sellout. And, you know, there's so many games, it's the sellout. I just want you to know that when I said, what was the sellout in Boston Garden, Susan Waldman pulled up her hand. Well, you're the only one in class.
I'm very polite. I raised my hand.
That'd be an 0-2 to Brignac. With one out, no one on. Bottom of the 8th, tied at 4. Pitch. Struck him out swinging. Fastball up. And now the Yankees have a decision. Not that they would walk him. This is not Miguel Cabrera. But the decision is, what are they going to throw Matt Joyce? 2 home runs in 2 nights. And without Matt Joyce, the Yankees would have a chance to sweep the series. Now here is Joyce, who has grounded out twice and homered.
Now you got to be careful with that high fastball that he just struck out Brignac on, because he hit one of those into the bleachers last night.
He's a left-hand hitter, and Joyce lays off a high fastball, 1-0. Tampa Bay has scored 7 runs in the 2 games, and Joyce, has accounted for 4 of them. And that pitch is low in the count 2-0. Sean Rodriguez, a right-hand hitter, is on deck.
I know, that's why you really have to wait judging trades. I remember last year that the Rays got killed for trading Edwin Jackson. He's on his second team, and this kid's finally starting to hit.
The 2-0 is a strike on the inside corner. That's a really good point you made. You know, sometimes you can't judge a trade for a couple, 3 years. Because if the guy who's coming over is a kid or still in the minor leagues, how do you judge it? It'll be a 2-1 to Joyce, and he fouls at third base side out of play, and the count 2-2. Now, the 9th inning, the Yankees going to see the closer, Rafael Soriano, and the Yankees will have A-Rod, Cano, and Swisher. Robertson even on the count 2-2 with the lefty hitting Joyce. Pitch. Swung on, pop foul, third base side out of play.
Tomorrow's game is starting at 1:37, they announced. We'll be on the air at 1 o'clock. Why do you think 1:37?
What an odd time. I have no idea. I really
well, ask
don't.
your buddies at TBS.
TBS, yeah. The 2-2. Breaking ball, he struck him out. Now, the throw to first by Cervelli because the ball dropped. So, Robertson, heck of a night. And boy, did he set him up. That curveball really fooled me. 1-2-3 with 2 strikeouts. Go the Rays. And now at the end of 8 innings of play, we're tied at 4 on the Yanks Radio Network, driven by Jeep.
At lpklaw.com.
Well, Rafael Soriano, the closer, is on. He recorded his 29th save last night. That leads the American League. Got an ERA of 1.77. Righties hitting 155 off of him. Lefties not much better, 213.
So we go to the top of the ninth. We are all tied at 4. And these 2 games have been played brilliantly and beautifully. Well pitched, home runs, tight. Last night, 3-2 Tampa. Today, tied at 4. We go to the ninth. It'll be A-Rod, Cano, and Swisher, righty, lefty, lefty. Now here's Soriano to Alex, and the fastball is high. A-Rod has walked and scored, flied out, and struck out. Yankee bullpen is quiet. Now, you know, if they score, it's Mariano. If they don't score, who knows, maybe Robertson again. That'll be a 1-0 to A-Rod. Swung on and pop foul, first base side out of play, and the count 1-1.
And, John, when you look at the alignment, look at the infield. The whole middle infield is open for Alex if he just would line one up the middle, if he thinks middle. Because the shortstop Bartlett's way over.
Yeah, he's playing near the shortstop hole, toward it anyway. The second baseman, Brignac, is shading A-Rod up the middle. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, a high pop in shallow left. The shortstop, Bartlett, out calling. And he makes the catch and falls down, but hangs on, and there's one away.
And those are the toughest balls to gauge. They go up in the air, up into this oatmeal roof, and back through the lights. A-Rod got that right off the end of the bat. Totally fooled on that and looked very frustrated doing it. Goes way up.
Now here's Robbie Cano. Bartlett waved everyone off, and no one came over. It was his ball. And he had to lean back, catch it, and then his momentum took him right down on the ground. Cano has doubled to right, doubled off the base of the left center field wall, and struck out. A left-hand hitter. And Soriano deals low inside. We are coming to you live from the Lowe's broadcast booth. Let's build something together. Now the 1-0. There goes the deep right. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. And it went further than Teixeira's to the last row. What a shot. Robbie Cano breaks the 9th inning tie with a home run. Robbie Cano. But don't you know? He homers and the Yankees take a 5-4 lead. And Mariano gets up.
And that absolutely beautiful level swing of Robbie Cano's homer number 21. 2 more doubles and a home run for Robinson Cano. What a swing. It was about knee-high fastball, and you can use that power. You use the 94-mile-an-hour power. That beautiful level swing, and it was gone as soon as he hit it.
And that went just to the back wall. What a home run, my goodness. For Cano, his 21st home run. He now has 71 RBIs. The Yankees take a 5-4 lead. Here's Swisher, and he takes a strike, a fastball. So the Yankees use the home run ball. A 2-run home run by Teixeira and solo shots by Swisher and Cano to take the lead.
John, and you think these games aren't tight? That whole bench got up. Mark Teixeira, I thought, was going to jump over the railing.
Swisher misses a change in the count 0-2. Well, what a shot, huh?
Some player. Got a grin from ear to ear. He hasn't stopped talking yet.
Well, I don't blame him. What a feeling. The 0-2. High fastball. The only one the Yankees scored that was not a home run. In the second inning, A-Rod walked. Cano doubled him to third, and Grandison to the sac fly. The other 4 runs, a 2-run home run by Teixeira, and solo home runs by Swisher. And in this inning, Robbie Cano. There's the 1-2. Struck him out swinging. The first strikeout for Soriano in the 12th by Rays pitching. Now, if you want to look ahead, Mariano will pitch to Sean Rodriguez, B.J. Upton, and Kelly Shopik. And they have Ibar and Zobrist on the bench. Those are 2 switch hitters. Now 2-way, and here's Granderson. And the pitch, fastball a little high, and the count 1-0.
These 2 games, John, they are so perfect for the 2 best teams in baseball.
Yes.
Absolutely tremendous.
Just perfect games, I agree. Now here's the 1-0 to Grandison. Swung on and drilled toward right center. On the run is Choice. He makes the catch. Grandy hit it right on the nose. So Cano's home run breaks the tie. 1 run, 1 hit, and no one left. And now the end of 8.5 innings of play. It's 5-4 Yanks on the New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
AT&T would like you to note the audio in this commercial is on a...
Well, we go to the bottom of the 9th inning at Tropicana. Robbie Cano's home run, that if there wasn't a back wall, had a chance to leave the old ballpark, has broken the tie, giving the Yankees a 5-4 lead. Obviously, Mariano is on. And he will face Sean Rodriguez, B.J. Upton, and Kelly Shopik. They're the first 3 scheduled hitters. They're all right-hand hitters. And the odd thing is, Mariano is so tough on lefties, you actually would prefer to have righty hitters against Mo. Let's pause 10-second station ID on the New York Yankees radio network.
First thing in the morning, more people get their news here than any other New York radio station. So start your day with WCBS and WCBS-FM HD3 New York.
Mariano deals, caught on and missed. John Sterling, Susan Waldman at Tropicana. The Yankees trying to hold on. They have a 5-4 lead. Bottom of the 9th. Mariano is on. Rodriguez 1 for 3. A right-hand hitter in the pitch. Strike on the outside, and the count 0-2. Cutter strike like a slider, moving away from the right-hand hitter. Rodriguez has flat out, grounded out, and he had a ground ball single to left. A-Rod guarding the line. Pitch missed outside. He's guarding the line. Teixeira, though, playing the way he should for a right-hand hitter, way off the bag at first. The outfield straight away for Sean Rodriguez, who's got some pop. He has 6 home runs, part-time player. And Rivera's 1-2 is outside, and the count 2-2. Gardner in left, Grandison in center, Swisher in right. A-Rod at third, Jeter at short, Cano at second, Teixeira at first, and Cervelli is catching Mariano. It'll be a 2-2 to Rodriguez. And that's foul back, and the count holds at 2-2. On the bench, you have Willie Ibar, a switch hitter, good hitter. Ben Zobrist, who has a bit of a bad back, that's why he's not starting. I don't know if he can pinch it or not. Another switch hitter, and a right-hand hitter, Gabe Kapler. It'll be a 2-2. The pitch struck him out swinging. One away. Now here's B.J. Upton. One thing, if the Yankees win the ball game, they're 2 outs away, they will leave Tampa in first place. Even if Tampa would win tomorrow, the Yankees would be a game up. And obviously, they win tonight, they want to win tomorrow as well. Here's Upton, a right-hand hitter. He is 1 for 3. And the pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Cutter moving away from Upton, 0-1. In the outfield, about straightaway. Granderson might be a step over in left center, basically straightaway. Infield and outfield. Upton has a lot of power. A right-hand hitter in the 0-1 is inside, under the hands, and the count 1-1. Willie Ibar has come on deck. He'll hit for Shopik. And Rivera deals. Hit on the ground to short. Jeter fields. Throws in time. 2 away. So now the Rays down to their final out. Willie Ibar, in 173 at-bats, is hitting a .254. 5 homers, 29 RBIs. Now Ibar hits for Shopik, and Rivera deals. Cutter inside. Did he go? He did. Tim Welke at third made the call. Ibar, against the cutter, stands way off the plate. But he still went at that first cutter. It'll be an 0-1. A cutter, a bloop to shallow right. Cano goes out and can't make the catch. A broken bat bloop single. Typical Mariano hit. And the Rays have life. They have the tying run at first. They have the winning run at home plate. And here is Jason Bartlett. Now Rivera threw the same cutter inside, and it broke the bat in half. He was left with just the little handle in his hand, and the bloop just escaped Robbie in shallow right for the single. So Ibar, a successful pinch hit, and he's the tying run at first, and Bartlett is the winning run. Bartlett has popped out, hit a sac fly, and walked. He's a right-hand hitter. And Rivera deals a ground ball to short. Jeter fields, flips to Cano, in time, ball game over. So the Yankees, even the series at a game apiece with a thrilling, exciting 5-4 victory on the 9th inning home run by Robbie Cano at 2 doubles and a homer. And the Yankees win at 5-4. Well, tonight, the Yankees have secured their 66th win of the year. Give the company you keep. Obviously, we'll keep it here for Susan Starr. Well, she can't miss tonight. There's a galaxy of stars, and she's got her man. Okay, we are back here at Tropicana, where the Yankees win another beauty, 5-4. The 2 games in this series, really emblematic of where these teams are. They're the 2 best teams in the major leagues. They've played 2 brilliant games. Pitching, home runs, tight defense. And the games were 3-2 Tampa and 5-4 Yanks. The player of the game is sponsored by your Tri-State Ford dealer. And that award tonight goes to Robbie Cano. I was going to kid today. It should go to Brian Cashman, who had a phenomenal day in the front office. But this player of the game has to do with the field. Brian will understand. And the player of the game, Robbie Cano, had 2 doubles in the game-winning home run in the 9th inning, sponsored by your Tri-State Ford dealers. The Yankees hit 3 home runs tonight. It brings their season total to 123 for every home run the Yankees hit this season. Your local Hyundai dealers donate $100 to the Hope and Heroes Foundation. The season total stands at $12,300. Guests on the postgame receive a gift card from The Capitol Grill, acclaimed for their dry-aged steaks and exceptional service. In New York, the Chrysler Center on East 42nd, the Time Life Building on West 51st, and at 120 Broadway in Lower Manhattan. Here are the totals for the Yanks: 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors, they left 2. For Tampa Bay, 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors, they left 5. The winning pitcher in relief is David Robertson. He pitched the 8th. He was the pitcher of record in the 9th. He's 2-3. The losing pitcher is Rafael Soriano. He's 2-1. And Mariano Rivera picked up his 21st save. The attendance, another sellout, the same sellout crowd as last night, 36,973. The time of the game, 2 hours and 58 minutes. And once again, the final score, the Yankees 5 and Tampa Bay 4. New York Yankees Baseball is a production of WCBS News Radio 880 and the New York Yankees. Studio operations by Chris Rausch. Tape editor Zaid White. Technical operations Dan Ginsberg. Production assistant Zach Finkelstein. The coordinating producer David Mayernick. And the executive producer of Yankees Baseball Tim Shell. Now stay tuned for the Mini Cooper postgame. We'll have highlights and scoreboard and Susan Waldman's clubhouse report. All coming up next on the Yankees Radio Network, driven by Jeep.